Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition of Africa Today. In today's edition, we are going to talk about the desalination of the seawater. 14 seawater desalination plants are reportedly being built in Egypt. With a total capacity of 476,000 cubic meters, state officials are being urged to localize the components of the water desalination technology. More details with Samah al-Sharif.
El-Sisi urged state officials on Saturday to localize the components of the water desalination technology in a bid to achieve further progress in this field. He stressed maximizing the amount of water coming from desalination and treatment water stations. A statement by his spokesman said he urged the integration of the water desalination strategy with the state's general policy for the wise management of water. He ordered officials to continue conducting further studies and experiments in this field to reach the best outcome. The statement said directives come within the general framework of building the national capacity of the state in all fields. It also said the meeting reviewed the state's strategic plan in terms of seawater desalination plants. El-Sisi also reviewed the plan to distribute the suggested plans nationwide together with the cost and capacity of these projects, including projects to desalinate red seawater using new and renewable energy.
And Djibouti's president hailed Cairo's role in ending the Israeli aggression on Gaza and agreed on the need to reach a binding agreement over the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. More details follow.
Cairo and Djibouti reiterated the importance of reaching a legal and balanced deal between Cairo, Khartoum and Addis Ababa on the filling and operation of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam in a way that protects the interests of the parties involved and preserve regional stability. During their meeting, El-Sisi and Djibouti's Ismail Omar Guelleh emphasized that the negotiating parties should display goodwill and have the political will necessary to reach a legally binding agreement. Negotiations on the DERD have been on hold since January, with tensions running high as Addis Ababa plans to go ahead with the second filling of the controversial dam unilaterally, whether a deal is reached with Cairo and Khartoum or not. El-Sisi said Cairo refuses any endeavor to impose a status quo policy through unilateral measures that do not take into account the interests of the downstream countries. Guelleh lauded Cairo's latest efforts to reach a ceasefire agreement in Gaza between Hamas and the Israelis to end the 11-day bombing of the besieged enclave. Both El-Sisi and Guelleh reiterated the necessity of engaging in a political settlement path to reach a fair, comprehensive, and lasting solution for the decades-old issue based on international references.
During a visit to Rwanda by the French President Emmanuel Macron, he admitted the French responsibility in the 1997 genocide that killed around 800,000 people. More details follow.
France had for too long valued silence over the examination of the truth when it came to its complicity in the 1994 massacre that killed around 800,000 people in Rwanda. The statement was made by President Emmanuel Macron during a visit to the Rwandan capital Kigali on Thursday. Macron said in a speech at the Kigali Genocide Memorial, where more than 250,000 Tutsis are buried, "Standing here today with humility and respect by your side, I have come to recognize our responsibilities." He said that France had a duty to admit the suffering it inflicted on the Rwandan people by too long valuing silence over the examination of the truth. Relations deteriorated after the 1994 genocide, and Macron is the first French leader to visit the country in 10 years.
Be the first to know.
Welcome back to shed light about the importance of the desalination of the seawater in Egypt. We are very much delighted to have with us Dr. Salah Abdallah, our political analyst. Dr. Abdallah, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Welcome, sir. Dr. Abdallah, how effective would desalination of seawater be for Egypt?
Well, you know, Egypt is one of the countries with increased population. Even before the problem of the Ethiopian dam, Egypt is suffering of shortage of the amount of water. It's one of the lowest country in the amount of water for each person.
Yes.
So the solution is to find another way to produce water other than the River Nile or beside the River Nile. Of course, desalination of water from the sea is one of the solutions.
Yes.
In fact, before President Sisi, this project is not have much care.
Yes.
But since he started his era as a president, he gave much support for this project.
Yes.
Because, and you observe that many planets and many projects of desalination of water is spreading now on the sea, or especially in the shores and in the towns beside the sea. We have to reach the situation that the population which is living on the sea can have their own drinking water from these projects. This, of course, will reduce the needs for taking water from the River Nile, which the water can be enough for agriculture and for the towns which is away from the sea.
Yes.
That's why the last meeting of President Sisi and his direction towards increasing the research in that situation and increasing the project, of course, to increase the amount of water to reach a level that this amount can be enough for the areas or for the people or for the collections which is living beside the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. And this, of course, will release the situation and will decrease the needs for the water from the River Nile, which, of course, needed for another purposes, like I said, agriculture, and for the people who are away from the sea, which they didn't have any sources for drinking excepting from the River Nile.
Indeed.
Of course, after the problem of the Ethiopian dam, the crisis became more serious. That's why we have to increase our effort to increase the amount of water and the sources of water outside the River Nile to decrease the problem which happened after that dam until we find a true solution for the problem of the Ethiopian dam.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Abdallah, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi urged the state officials to localize the components of the water desalination technology. Why is that?
Because, you know, to import the contents of the project is expensive. Expensive. That's why we have to produce the components of these projects locally and to find our way to manufacture the parts which is needed. And the researchers have to help in that because we have to reduce the prices and the needs for dollars which to import this project from outside. Of course, you know, some of the countries are using nuclear power for huge projects of desalination of water. And this, of course, one of the ideas which maybe can use in the future.
Yes.
Of course, the directions of the President Sisi is very important because we have to reduce our expenses on these stations because we need to increase it in the country, and not to increase it alone, but to have a major project, not a minor project, a major project. That's why localizing the part of the project and manufacture the part which is needed for the station is very important.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Abdallah, how would the desalination water actually impact the expected effects of the second filling of the Grand Ethiopian Dam, sir?
Of course, whether the first filling or the second filling of the dam, the dam is a problem to Egypt.
Indeed.
We have to take it like that, because of course it will reduce the amount of water which is coming to us, but in a country which is suffering already from shortage of water. So desalination of water is one of the solutions which can reduce the bad effect of the dam, whether in the first filling or in the second filling or in the third filling. We have to increase our production of water from the sea, because we have to have enough water for our people, so for drinking and for agriculture and so on.
Yes.
And of course, until we find a true solution for the problem of the dam, we will have a lot of problems in the water. But to have another project like desalination of water is very important, plus other projects which we can talk about in another situation.
Indeed, Dr. Salah Abdallah, our political analyst, many thanks for your precious input, sir. Always a pleasure to have you with us. And with that, our dear viewers, we come to the end of this edition of Africa Today, brought to you live from our studios here on Al TV International by myself, Maïsi Rabia. Many thanks for watching.